Yeah, for sure a raise here, up to 12,000. And suited 10-7 for Seed. He calls.
These are the kind of hands that have been working well for Huck Seed.
Flop is 9-King-10, a pair of 10s for Huck Seed.
Again, Huck Seed gets a piece of the flop, and Barry's going to bet.
Seed checks, Barry bet, and even I'm seeing a pattern here. Barry flops nothing and Huck checks, Barry bets.
And Huck is getting a piece of every flop. It makes it easy for Huck to call.
Which he does, and the turn an 8 of hearts.
Now, beside having a pair of 10s, Huck's got an open-end straight flush draw, and Barry is lucky he checked right there.
Check, check, river, 2 of hearts, and Seed makes his flush.
Huck bets 41,000. I think if Huck checked there, Barry would have tried to represent something. But Huck had no way of knowing what Barry had.
He's nobody's Huckleberry today. Huck Seed has Barry Greenstein down to 60,000 in chips. Want to relive the greatest moments of the National Heads Up Poker Championship? The 2005 tournament DVD is available now, and the 4-disc set from the 2006 tournament is ready for pre-order. Log on and go to the store at NBCHeadsUp.com. Back at Spectacular Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, the home of champions and the home of the National Heads Up Poker Championship. Inside the poker room, it's the quarterfinal round, single elimination, heads-up bracket-style poker. And in this match between last year's runner-up Chris Ferguson and James McManus, they've been about even, and most unusual is that there hasn't been a swing of more than 10,000 either way.
Chris Ferguson decides to raise here with a Jack-5 offsuit, makes it 16,000 to go.
And take a look at what we see through the Outback pocket cam. Aces again for McManus.
Last time he raised with aces, Chris Ferguson didn't have anything. Same here, Chris Ferguson doesn't have much of a hand. Jim McManus makes a big raise. Chris is probably going to have to throw his hand away. If he calls, he might trap him.
So you're suggesting the slow play?
Well, I'm suggesting it because I know what Chris Ferguson has. It's very easy to play great when you know what the other guy has.
Right.
I'm just saying if he happens to do that, it'll be the right play this time. Looks like he's going to raise.
To 56,000.
Again, there's no way that Chris Ferguson could call.
40,000.
40,000 more.
If only you knew what your opponent had, it would be so simple to play this game.
Even I could play this game that way.
I wouldn't go that far.
And as you predicted, Chris throws his hand away.
Jim McManus has gotten real lucky to get aces twice. He shows him here again. But he's gotten unlucky because Chris Ferguson hasn't had any kind of hand when he's got his aces.
Back to Barry Greenstein and Huck Seed. And Greenstein's down to 59,000 in chips to Huck's 261,000. And as Barry's stack lowers, the blinds rise to 5 and 10,000 here.
All in.
Ace-9 offsuit, and he goes all in.
Barry continues to be aggressive here.
Very green.
Got a squeeze.
All in.
2-4. 2-4. Well, I don't want to say
2-4 crosses means Huck's either got 9-10, 9-9, or 10-10. And he's got 10-10 and he calls. And Barry's going to need an ace.
I guess
Yeah, Barry is going to need some help here. Without it, Huck Seed will eliminate Barry Greenstein, and Seed advances.
It's been an interesting match to watch. A lot of gambling. Barry knows he's in bad shape.
Okay, that's the best hand for now.
Flop comes Queen, Deuce, 8.
With
2 hearts. Barry's got the ace of hearts. He would win if 2 more hearts came up.
Barry can, of course, hit an ace.
Or there's always that ace.
Couple of runners to a straight. Let's put up a turn card.
The turn. The Deuce of Hearts.
Okay, good for Barry. He needs a heart or an ace.
Barry can now hit an ace.
8 hearts left in the deck, or one of the 3 aces.
It's a shame to have this match end.
Let's see the river.
Yes. River's a 4 of spades, and Huck Seed eliminates Barry Greenstein to advance in the tournament.
It was fun playing with you, Barry.
Barry played his trademark game. Huck caught some cards, and he was up to the challenge.
Huck Seed will go on to play the winner of the Jim McManus-Chris Ferguson match.
Huck Seed is super excited, as you can see.
You'd never know by the reaction that Huck Seed needs to beat only 2 more opponents to win the whole thing here at Caesars. The field is pairing at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, host of the 2006 National Heads Up Poker Championship. Getting you right back to the action at our featured table. Though these two have gone at it with kid gloves, Jim McManus does have a slight lead that he's extended over Chris Ferguson.
Hasn't been any kind of action. 2 varied matches. Barry Greenstein and Huck Seed, a lot of action. This match, not too much action.
McManus on 9-6 offsuit. Blinds at 3 and 6,000 here.
12.
Raise it to 12,000.
Jim McManus has decided to make a move here.
12,000.
12,000 on 9-6 offsuit.
Ace-5 for Ferguson.
I'm sure Chris is going to eventually call. Oh, he's going to call pretty quickly here.
Flop, 8, tray, 10.
Jim McManus has flopped an inside straight draw.
Chris checks.
I think Jim should bet here. He would win the pot right here if he bet. But he checks very quietly.
Turn is a 2 of spades. Good card for Ferguson.
Gives Chris Ferguson the nut flush draw and an inside straight draw also. He would make a straight with a 4. He's got a bet, and there's no way Jim McManus can call.
Ferguson bets 16,000.
Jim McManus's opportunity was on the flop. He raised before the flop. He got something on the flop, an inside straight draw. He should have bet on the flop. Blew his opportunity.
Chris Ferguson wins the pot. Last year's runner-up thrives in this format.
I love playing heads up. And anytime you love doing something, you're going to spend a lot of time learning how to do it well.
Chris Ferguson now has more wins than any other player in heads-up history.
I think a lot of it has to do with luck. You can't expect to win every heads-up match. No matter how good you are, you're not a huge favorite over your opponent. And it's really kind of like figuring out a puzzle, figuring out your opponent.
Well, Ferguson is yet to figure out the Jim McManus puzzle as he trails him in this quarterfinal match.
Should be easy. McManus shows him all his cards.
Blinds at 8 and 16,000. Ace-8 for McManus.
Can I get a count of Chris's chips, please?
I think I have about 137.
137? No more than 140?
136.8.
See, you're overstating it, so I would be...
Looks like Jim McManus is thinking of doing something really drastic here. You don't generally hear people call for chip counts at heads up. The chip count is the total amount minus what you have.
I'm all in.
McManus moves all in.
Jim McManus is going all in with an ace